Hello, everybody. We are here. Sorry, we're late. We are melting. Um, it's like 90 degrees, or it feels like it. I feel like I'm in a sauna. I'm sweating. Computers playing up. Guests are late. Can't find the cats, etc., etc. So you know it is. So I hope you are all very well today, folks. Just a little kind of mini musings. We've got the guests out already. We're just going to get on with it. So I'll briefly introduce each of the guests. Lord Cord, hello, my friend.
Evening all.
Are you well?
I'm knackered and I've been juicing for 9 days and I'm still trying to force my way to the end of this fucking Prey review, but here I am. So the combination of things, if you describe that as okay, that's good.
I'm sure the pain of Prey will be worth it in the end.
Yeah, hopefully.
It will. Not Brian Young. Hello, my friend.
Hello, Mr. Brown. Hello, fellow guests, and hello to the chat.
Are you well, buddy?
Oh, not bad. Not half bad, lad.
How is Scotland? Is it warm, Scotland?
It's certainly warmer than usual.
Is Jimmy Cranky up to her usual tricks?
Thankfully, I've been avoiding the news up here. It gets very, very grim. So
it's grim up north.
Grim up north, lad.
Yeah, I did it. When you ask Brian if it's warmer than usual, and that he just looks out of his window and the rain is only slightly drizzling, or the snow is only 2 inches high, and then he turns around and says, "Yeah, it's really quite warm here."
Quick, before we get to the main man, Rich, this is for you, Lord. If you get bored, you could always do a review of Miss Marvel. He's not that bored.
I've got no time. But the Prey thing is now Stranger Things, which has been on the go for fucking ages. Obi-Wan, the last video, which has been on the go for months at this point. And then in the next month, I've somehow got to find the time alongside the day job to do Rings of Power, House of the Dragon, and Andor, all of which are out at the same damn time. So I wish I had more time to do stuff like Ms. Marvel, because that could be really entertaining. But
while I'm sat at home doing fuck all. Okay, so last but by no means least, everybody, we love this guy. It is Ruin the Man Baby.
Hello, man babies. So good to be back, and I'm here sweating like a gypsy with a mortgage. It's ridiculous. But so glad to be back with you all. How are we all doing?
Yeah, we're not bad, mate. It was your birthday a couple of days ago. Happy birthday, dude.
Oh, thank you very much. And I put it out on Twitter. I said, can you all say something nice about The Last Jedi? And I got inundated with abuse. So nice way to spend my birthday. Thank you all.
Do we have a update on the trilogy?
Oh, well, funny you should say that. Yes, we do. I've been working hard. Obviously, I've got about 15 more Knives Out movies to film, but yes, the trilogy's coming, man, babies. Buckle in, because it's dropping on Disney Plus in 2034. It's been confirmed.
So that's not long to wait, folks. 12 years.
We'll just be out through the next pandemic, and those who've survived the cost of living crisis without eating or heating their homes, the 3 remaining people left on the planet will enjoy my new Star Wars trilogy. So good luck to you all.
That's assuming there is any electricity to power the TVs in 12 years' time.
I'll deliver it via the art of glove puppets. So it'll be fine.
Happy thing is that it will absolutely break box office records because inflation. So, you know, a £1 billion film today will be worth about £150 billion in 2 months' time. So if you've got 13 years, then you can claim to have a film that's broken $1 trillion at the box office. It just so happens that that's still worth pennies, but you know.
There we go. Always thinking.
That's his problem. He
Time,
thinks too.
time for the eye test, everyone.
Yes, he thinks too much. So here we go, folks. Slight update on the free eye test. We need 1,000 subscribers. Please subscribe. That is because 60% of my viewers have not subscribed. Moving on.
I haven't got the stream event. Have you still got please subscribe in brackets in your title by any chance?
Yes.
Because, I mean, it might just be me, but I read that and immediately the thing I heard in my head was Jeb Bush saying, please clap. So maybe it's just me.
Yeah, it's definitely just you, mate.
Okay.
Okay, so we were going to talk about, in fact, we'll just say it. This dropped today. Nobody's watched it.
I think Z's watched it, but he's not here.
Z's watched it. We were expecting Z to turn up. And I think
Z's quick review was bag of shite.
and then
Punchy.
he had his oil bath, which is very difficult to say. So 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes long, is it, Brian?
Just under the 5 minutes or so, we're told, if Z's reporting is correct. I don't really have any interest in this. I may give it a little bit of a watch, but considering how long we spent in the green room, we should really have watched it before we coming on.
Yeah,
but,
we could have done,
anyway.
actually. Yeah, we could have done. Anybody watched it in the chats?
It ticks a few boxes though, because they've actually now got an entire miniseries dedicated to a bundle of sticks. So that's a diversity box ticked.
Franco says Franco is a good barometer of what we should be doing. I saw it listed but avoided it. In the chat. No! There you go. Ruin, will you be watching this?
Well, at 5 minutes, it means little Groot there's got more screen time than Mark Hamill did in my movie. So on that basis, maybe I will give it a go. Yes, I'll give it a whirl.
I think there's about is there about half a dozen episodes. Why on earth they just didn't do it as one 30-minute kind of TV cartoon, I do not know, but okay. I'm sure the dialogue will push the boat out. So we will report back to you folks on Sunday just how good I Am Groot is. This dropped about 2 weeks ago on Disney Plus. It's a documentary about industrial light and magic, and I know you guys haven't watched it, but I've watched the first three episodes, and genuinely, I think it's one of the rare occasions where Disney has put something decent out. So if you're into your Star Wars and your special, I know the Mega Geek would love this. If you're into your special effects, first three episodes are basically Star Wars up to Empire Strikes Back. So I think there's 3 more episodes. It's interesting. Here you go, Rich. Yeah. Sorry, mate. Guilty. I've been busted. Welcome to the Disney Shill channel, everybody.
Well, we're finally going mainstream.
We are. Things are happening now. Okay. Andy Mouse says, I want to see the tech.
So you wonder if this is worth torrent. I mean, resubscribing to Disney Plus in order to take in the magnificence of such a great company, and it is a great company, despite who now is involved with it.
Apologies for the old fella walking in. It's a 7 Seas job, isn't it? Arr. But check it out, everybody. If you're into your special effects and how George Lucas started out the Star Wars journey, check it out.
Beautiful.
Lord Chord's news round. This dropped on Twitter, so for no other reason, I just thought I'd put it on. Lawrence Kasdan, George Lucas, and Ruin. Do you know that guy on the right?
No, who is she? She looks rather tasty.
It's Carrie Fisher.
Oh, yes. Good old Carrie. Yes,
The good old days,
babies
yes. The good old days.
Yeah.
It's another
I mean,
person whose stock was tanked by TLJ, because I remember thinking when Lawrence Kasdan was announced as going back onto the writing team for that film that it might finally start to do something new and interesting. And, well, now we know.
Lawrence Kasdan has written the previous documentary series. So it's kind of from personal experience about the industrial light and magic. Genuinely, it is a good documentary.
This looks like an album cover for a band that's just about to break up. It's like Morrison Hotel or something. Just ready, can't really be fucked doing it, but they're going through the motions. Take the pick, let us go.
Why didn't Mark Hamill get a sheepskin jacket? That's what I want to know. The old Del boy there.
That's a very, very good question. That is a very good question.
And who rocks it better?
Again, another good question. Probably George, though, I reckon.
During the Cloud Wars.
Right, okay, guys. So, as I said, placed on this, for no other reason that it's George and his boys from back in the day. So,
and Swap Shop liked it, so
yes,
we have to include it.
Again, swappers should have been here, but never mind. This is the this is still doing the rounds, isn't it, Lord? The Prey stuff.
Oh, I'm fucking sick of this film now. Yes, it is still doing the rounds. Every day some other person comes out and says it's brilliant. I think the other thing today was its score. It's got the highest score of any Predator film, including the first one.
Ugh,
on I think it's IMDb,
really?
or it might be IGN or somewhere like that. But yeah, no, it's got 92% as opposed to the 80% for the original Predator, which just tells you the kind of people who are rating this film. It's the audience who like it have had the bar set so low they think anything that isn't just overtly shit must therefore be good, which it isn't, because it's not a good film.
Do you think
and the other reviewers just want to praise it because it's like Predator, remember, but diversity, which is good. Yeah, that's what you need for a film.
Do you think the Twitter bots will be marking it up and stuff?
Well, they don't need to, because they keep getting people like Jesse Ventura coming out and saying it's a brilliant film. Thank you for making such a thoughtful, creative, and wonderful film. And then you've got the drinker who starts off by saying it's crap, and then he goes on and says, actually, it's quite good. And then Mauler seems to think it's quite good. And like a lot of the EFAP guys who I really like think it's quite good. And I'm not going to hold it against them, but they're wrong. It's just everyone is coming out and saying this is a great film. It's not. It's just that the bar for the sequel films has just gone through the floor, and the fact that this one doesn't throw shit in your face just makes it seem good by comparison. The more I go through it, and I've had to go through it way too long, which is why I'm in a bad mood now, the worse it seems. It's just not well written in any conceivable way. The fact it's sort of kind of blur as a film, yeah, it's better than the sequels. Does that make it good in its own right? Absolutely not.
That was almost a rant.
Yeah, something has to wake me up. I'm still staring the fucking Premiere Pro thing open right next to this stream. So never will I have been so happy to see the back of a review.
Do you have an ETA when that's going to drop?
Well, it was supposed to be Sunday, then it was supposed to be Monday, then it was supposed to be Tuesday, then it was supposed to be today, so now tomorrow. And hopefully it actually will be tomorrow, because it's only, I don't know, maybe 8 minutes of footage left to put together. So by 4 o'clock this morning, it might be done.
Well, this is just going to keep going and going for at least another couple of weeks, so you'll be okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brian?
I've got absolutely no interest in this film whatsoever, and it's I didn't have much interest in the original, to be quite honest. I've watched it and I appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah.
This doesn't tickle my fancy in the slightest, and I don't know how seriously I would take Jesse Ventura's opinion, to be quite honest. The amount of bollocks he's been talking on the internet since 2005.
I thought he died.
Well, yeah, just his career, Brun.
Oh, okay.
I'll be giving this one a miss, and by the sounds of what Lost Quarters just told us, I think it might be the right decision.
I thought you'd seen it, but obviously not. I've seen snippets. I don't know if I should watch it. I don't know. Ruin, does this interest you?
No, it doesn't interest me in the slightest. But Jesse Ventura does. I'd like my old classic wrestling and Jesse the Body Ventura. Yes, I mean he's getting on a bit now, and as Brian Young says there, he's really been talking some shit in his later years. I mean, we're talking Alex Jones level of conspiracy nonsense. So. Yes, I know. I don't know if it's the ringing endorsement they'd hope, but
yeah.
Yes, no real interest in me. I'm busy writing a goddamn trilogy.
2 trilogies. Melvin Deeply watched it twice, so I'd be armed for the debate. Wished I hadn't really enjoyed it first time round, much less second time round.
Yeah, there's little things in it as well which you sort of pick up on as you have to go through it really slowly just to sort of put the footage together. Just these small inexplicable things that just reveal how utterly shallow it is. Some of the action sequences are solid. You know, like the events move in a logical order, and by the standards of modern film, that's actually good, which is really depressing. But there's stuff like, you know, I mean, I think I ranted about the last fight scene last time we were on the stream when, spoilers, the Predator chops its own arm off and then shoots itself in the head with its own gun, which is utterly. But he only does that because she, in a split-second scene, it takes about maybe 3 seconds in total, you see her eyeing up the helmet when it's knocked off his head. And in that scene, in the middle of an action sequence, when she's being set upon by a space alien, she figures out, as a Native American, that this is how Predator technology works. And then you sort of remember that when, I'll go back to in the review to like the Meiji Restoration in Japan, and the first Western sort of technology they were introduced to was a model steam train. And it was so profoundly alien to them that they thought it was magic, and half the samurai that watched it lost their minds, and the others became like over-the-top anime schoolgirls. And the Predator tech to Native Americans is a way bigger gap than English colonialists to samurai in Japan. The idea that she can just immediately understand what she needs to set up the mechanics of the fight scene later from a 2-second shot of a Predator's helmet is just, it's nonsense. It's so formulaic. And yeah, again, it all depends what you're comparing it to. If you're comparing it to the sequels, it's better than them. If you're comparing it to most modern films, it's probably just average. But I kind of think we probably should expect more than that.
And she speaks like a Valley girl, apparently.
She does not, does she?
I can't say I really noticed. She has the attitudes of one, or like the facial expression, very sassy. I don't remember the dialogue because the dialogue is almost like traumatically bad.
Andy's told me I need to watch it. Melvin says it was okay, but the silly parts were too silly, and yet it's still better than the Predator.
Yes, but I mean, I've taken shits that are better than the Predator, so it's not the highest of class to clear.
Aidan Lawrence, hello Aidan. Prey has to be the most overrated sequel ever, alongside Predator 2, which I believe to be the most underrated. Yeah, Predator 2 is not bad. What I remember.
Brownie, can I make a small request, my good man?
Yes.
So just before we move on from this little segment, as we're talking sequels, you know, I like a bit of trivia.
Yes.
Can we play a little game? Is that all right? I've got a little game lined up for us, sequel related.
Is it a drinking game?
Unfortunately not. You all need to rehydrate. It's far too hot for alcohol. No, just a short little game, if I could. Just with the chaps there, we've got some knowledge in the on the panel and in the chat room. I'm looking at Screen Rant because it's my favorite go-to source on the internet for all things movie knowledge. And they've given me a list of the top 10 sequels of all time. and I was wondering if you goddamn idiots could guess what any of them were. What are you saying? Some of them should be easy. Go on, Brown, kick us off. Give me a top 10 sequel of all time.
Okay. Do you want me to come in guns blazing or just?
Yes, come in guns blazing.
Okay, I'm going to go.
We'll do one at a time.
I'm going to go. See the chat's on it already. I'm going to go Terminator 2.
Terminator 2 on Screen Rant's list. Agree with it or not? Is at number 3 in the all-time best sequel. So, Lost Jord, what would you say, my good man?
So is this what I think are the best sequels, or
No,
what Screen Rant?
it's what
would
you
rate
think
the best
Screen
sequels?
Rant think. So get your head around that one.
Oh, shitting hell. What's like a? I was going to say something like Wrath of Khan, but I think that would be too highbrow for them.
No, you're on the money. It's snuck in at number 10 on the list, and Brownie will be pleased at that one.
Oh yes.
So Wrath of Khan is in there. Mr. Brian Young, not Brian Young. What would you say?
I was going to say Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, but of all the sequels, Lost Chord managed to do it. I think I'll go for Back to the Future 2, which is technically a sequel that shouldn't have happened, judging by the rules in Back to the Future 1.
Oh, one of my favorites, if not, it actually is my favorite movie trilogy of all time. It's not on the goddamn list. It's not on the list, Brian.
No.
Sorry, it's not on
Brian,
the
wrong
list.
timeline, mate. Sorry.
It should be. It's appalling. Brownie, back to you. Let's see if we can knock them all out.
No, should we do the chat? It'd be rude to ignore the chat.
Then you're in control.
Okay, so
throw it up on screen so I can see him.
Melvin's been silly. Titanic 2.
Yes. I'll direct that one.
Titanic did go down well with audiences, though.
Boom, boom.
I'm here all week. Aliens.
Oh, he's good. Yes, it's number 5. Well done.
He is. Melvin redeems himself now. Godfather 2.
Yes, he has redeemed himself. That's number 4 on the list.
Grim, Bobblehead, Aliens again. Rich, Step Up 2. I don't know what that is.
Rich, come on. We're not doing poor movies, Rich. Get your mind out the gutter.
Melvin again, Empire.
Yes, of course. Empire is... it's at number 2 on the list.
Well, if they're actually going for sensible, actually quite good sequels, then The Godfather 2 has to be on there, surely.
Yep, I think someone said it. Yeah, that is at number 4 on the list.
Bishop goes Home Alone 2.
No.
Is The Last Jedi on there anywhere?
Unbelievably not. No, of all the money I paid Screen Rant, and they couldn't get my movie on the list.
Rich tries again. Debbie did Dallas.
No, keep trying, Rich. He's just going through his own DVD collection now.
Bishop Porky's Revenge. That was a good movie, to be fair.
Christ, Porky's
Revenge. Ghostbusters 2 from Franco.
No. Some good suggestions here, but not on the official Screen Rant.
Warm Fuzz. He's doing his top 10 pornos. Here we go.
No, it's not Temple of Doom. No, at this point, I'm going to have to reveal the missing answers.
Right. Omen 2. Right. That was a good film.
What about like
surely
Towers?
Surely the Dark Knight.
Oh yes, Lord Shaw's pulled it out the bag there. It's that's at number 7. Well done.
Okay.
Brian had Brian's one must have been on there.
What was Brian's?
The Dark Knight, surely.
Yeah.
Yes, that is. I was waiting for someone to get it. That is the number 1 on the list.
Die Hard 2.
No, so I think I don't know. With them, I may have got them. So they've got the Dark Knight at number 1, Empire at number 2. Terminator 2 at number 3, Godfather 2 at number 4, Aliens at number 5. I think we've got them all between us so far.
Yeah.
Oh, this one was not given a mention. Captain America: Winter Soldier at number 6.
Great film. Great film.
Great movie. Yep.
We have The Two Towers. Did anyone say The Two Towers?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Number 7. Yes, it was you, Lord Jord.
Is that 9/11?
Brown, please. Too soon. I don't think this one was mentioned. Toy Story 2 was at number 8.
Oh shit.
Ooh, wow, okay.
And Spider-Man 2 was at number 9.
Of course, that was generally referred to as the best superhero sequel
Yeah.
ever for many, many years until Marvel came on the scene.
Yeah, Ian likes that one.
Wrath of Khan number 10. It's a wrap. There we go. Off the cuff bit of trivia for you all.
Not many newish films though, but okay.
Funny that.
Funny.
Well, I'm
that.
still running Windows 98. I don't know if that affects things.
Right, okay. This week's Ezra. He's been arrested for stealing booze from a person's house. Does anybody understand that?
In Vermont.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
And
like the arse end of nowhere.
And he's been arrested by the police. Effectively, I think for
Well, has he
burglary.
actually been arrested, or has he sort of been charged in absentia?
Now that I don't know, but it says he's been charged with burglary.
It is like watching someone sort of going around playing Grand Theft Auto, but not the main missions. He's just going around like punching prostitutes, stealing airplanes.
He's like a Wish Ryan Giggs, really, isn't he?
Well, I'm going to be really disappointed if he has actually been arrested, because then there won't be any more of these stories. I like tuning in every week to find out what he's got up to next. Has he actually been arrested?
Well, I assume it says that he's been charged, so I assume he's been arrested at some point and probably released.
It's almost like a Hollywood psyop that's making every other deed done by the Hollywood elite mean nothing. I mean, Winona Ryder must be pissing herself at this point.
What, for nicking a handbag or whatever it was?
It seems like nothing in comparison with what they have done.
Yeah. And also, haven't they just announced that the Flash movie is still going to carry on, even though...
Yeah, we'll get rid of this bit. We'll move on.
Oh,
so there we go.
Oh, boom.
Yeah, apparently this is... all the people in the know say this is a decent film.
How many of them work for Warner?
Probably all of them.
That's
Does he
not
think
quite
he
a
can run
ringing
that fast in
endorsement.
real life? Is that why he keeps doing these things?
What,
Thinks he can just
from-
run
from-
away? Like he's
yeah, from the
never
police,
sober
yeah.
enough to realise he doesn't actually have these powers. Sorry, Ben.
I was just noting that when you say that people say it's a good film, that's not the line Variety seems to be taking, because they've said, by the looks of that, the film cost too much money to scrap, and it likely won't generate revenues needed to turn a profit without playing in theaters. So they are going to play it in theaters, I guess, to make some of the money back. Again, like a lot of people in Hollywood are just not quite familiar with this sunk costs fallacy thing. I mean, you don't actually have to complete a project you've spunked lots of money on. It can actually be cheaper just to junk it. They did it with Batgirl. Why is The Flash getting released, but Batgirl, which apparently is so bad it's amazing, is not? I want to see
Yeah.
Batgirl, not The Flash.
It's probably $200 million. They can't write that off, probably.
But then you've got to add marketing now because they're releasing it. You've got to add half of the profit going to theaters because they're releasing it. There's a lot of extra cost that comes in by releasing it. So you have to make up that cost before you even start cutting into the deficit of the original budget for the film. So maybe they hope it'll actually make money. Maybe this is all an elaborate ploy. Maybe everyone is now so head up on Ezra Miller that people will flock to the cinema to see it because he's got notoriety. And actually, this is all staged from the top. He's a really nice, normal, decent, well-adjusted human being.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yes. We said earlier, didn't we? Yeah.
We did, yeah. Melvin says maybe by charged they mean he's been plugged into an electrical outlet.
Oh.
And then Grim goes, he will get done for flashing next.
If he had a sense of humor, he'd have done it already. Mind you, he doesn't need to flash strangers because allegedly he runs his own cult with children, so he can just do it in the privacy of his own wherever.
Kindergarten. Aidan Lawrence, hello Aidan. Ezra is untouchable due to being part of the YMCA.
Moving on.
So it looks like it's going to get released. People say it's good. I'm sure the audiences will decide.
I'm sure chat would agree with me. Rather than just another bang average superhero film, which is what we tend to mean now when we say they're good, they're just average. I would want to see something which is so bad it is amazing. And again, I think I would want to see Batgirl. That sounds like it's hilarious. It's
there
like
you go.
Batwoman is unironically one of the most entertaining things to watch of the last few years because it is that bad. And I'd rather have something like that than just another average superhero film.
Matt I, is it Matt 1? Other Matt, I want to see both also.
Yeah.
Romeo, hello. Theory, Flash film allows to restore the Snyderverse.
Oh, please no. No, they can't because Zack Snyder hates them now, and they hate him because he elicited the help of lots of bots to get his god awful extended cut of a bad film released.
Ruin, you're available. Would you fancy taking over the DC verse?
Oh, why not? I mean, it can't get any goddamn worse, can it? Yes, let me get my grubby little hands on it. I'm sure I could make a mockery of it all. But I don't know much about this chap. Who is he? Is he a little scoundrel? Is he up to no good? I don't know. This Ezra Miller guy.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he is a scoundrel.
I like him.
Well, I mean,
sorry, I like them.
Yeah, that's much.
Get it right. Get your product.
Get it right.
You've got to wonder what actually he would have to do at this point for his film to be cancelled, or even himself be cancelled, because what he's getting away with is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, we discussed it on the last stream, didn't we? I mean, you cancel Kevin Spacey and retroactively delete him from every film he's ever been in for doing much less than this, and then the Flash goes, or the Flash, fucking Ezra Miller goes around, chokes fans, steals things, runs cults, allegedly with children involved, sexual allegations, the whole lot, and they're still releasing the film.
In the chat, Matt agrees with you, Lord.
It makes you wonder what the Batgirl actress did, doesn't it, really? I mean,
there was a campaign for Elliot Page to take over the role.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there. That's for Sunday night. So anyway, as I said, it looks like we're going to see the Flash, unless if he does something to David Zaslav's wife or something in the meantime. I think it's going to get released. We'll leave the final word to Andy. He's a childish little cunt. That's one of the benefits of being a mod. You can actually go off both barrels, and we see it all. Well done, mate. Okay.
Who's the chap in the chat who was going through his porno collection, Brownie? I've just got a question for him.
Yes, that's Rich, who likes Han Solo as well. Can you believe it? That lost money apparently.
I want to know if Rich in his collection there has got the porno version of the Flash. It's called the Fleshlight. Do you have that one, Rich?
And also, have you seen Weapons of Ass Destruction? That's quite good.
I bet he's got them all.
I bet he has. In the chat, Alex Talan. Hello.
Hello, Alex, you man baby.
He is the man baby, isn't he?
He's looking damn fine there in his, what is that in? Batman meets Zorro or something?
No, I think that's the new Disney villain. That's the Bummer.
Yes. Hitting theatres next year, that ruin. The Bummer.
The Bummer, yes.
Here we go. Z, he is around. If you see Ezra Miller, call the police. If you make eye contact, you may already be dead.
Scary guy.
That is a stream killer. Okay, so we'll move on. Still connected to David Zaslav. Apparently, obviously, there's lots of rumors flying around, and Ruin's favorite site, Screen Rant.
Yes.
Cavill has been approached by Warner Brothers to reprise Superman. And guess what he said?
Fuck you.
Fuck off. I know, but
Lord, would you have told them to off?
That would depend how much they were paying me. But
Do you think it's posturing?
posture, what, is in him telling them to fuck off? Or them approaching
Yeah,
him?
he's playing hard to get, yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know that they have approached him. It's just a rumor. And I don't tend to trust rumors about these things.
I think they
believe
probably
them when
would
they
have
see
done.
them.
Yeah.
Is this possible? I don't know. I mean, it's the thing that they probably should have done a long time ago. He hasn't had a good Superman film yet, but he is probably due one. I have no idea. There was, who's the other guy that they're also potentially? Ben Affleck. That's the other one that I think I saw a rumor that
For Batman,
they were
yeah.
approaching him as well. I just want the whole thing to stop. Make it stop. I don't want any of these people to come back. They're too good for it. And no one seems to be capable of writing these films in a way that does their actors justice. But I wouldn't blame him at all. He's got other stuff on. He deserves more stuff than he's got. Why would you go back to a tanking franchise?
Conveniently, we know somebody who can write for their characters very well. Can't you, Ruin?
Oh, I'm perfect for it. In fact, I'm already considering my casting options to replace Cavill, the miserable old bastard, if he doesn't want to play the role. So I'm going to run them by you all, if that's okay, and I'll get your instant reactions. Can we do that, Brownie?
There you go.
Right, here we go then. So my short list of actors to replace Henry Cavill. Okay, and it's semi-serious in some respects. Let me see. So, what about a bit of Army Hammer?
Jesus Christ.
No,
Pass.
He's not eating his cast members.
no. There's that a no. Okay, okay. Okay. Next one, Channing Tatum.
God, no.
Well, has he actually done anything in the last few years?
It was it Magic Mike and Kingsman?
Yes, Kingsman.
We'll throw it open to the chat. Chat, can you
Yeah,
think of
come on,
anybody?
chat.
Come on, chat, earn your money. Who would you like to see as the next Superman?
I don't think he has a face for Superman. There's a few actors whose faces are inexplicably just make me want to punch them. I don't even have strong feelings toward them, but he's one of them. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt has another very punchable face. And I don't have anything against him either. I don't know what it is about them, but he does not have Superman face.
Would you get tired of punching his face?
I think I just want to do it the once.
Well, talking of faces you'd like to punch, here's my next on the list. Zac Efron. 5'5" Zac Efron. Would you bit of height diversity in the role? What do you?
I will kind of respect his work ethic for training up for Baywatch. He got shredded and he looks pretty fucking good. So the guy's a professional. And speaking of professionals, look who's here, everybody. It's the Mega Geek.
Yeah,
Hey.
hello, Mega Geek.
Yeah, sorry I'm late.
It's only a little late.
I was on another stream, so yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's the worst excuse I've ever
I
heard.
know, it's terrible, isn't it?
The YouTube slag, the Mega Geek.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
We're just the question is, who do we want to replace Cavill as Superman?
Oh, is he not doing it then?
Well, we don't know yet.
It's
Apparently,
not.
Warners have reached out apparently, and he said no.
Oh, okay. Well, as I said before, Egerton, whoever his name is, the guy that was in the Kingsman,
Yeah,
he actually looks a bit like Superman now because he's grown a bit. And if you see him in this film on Apple TV, I can't remember what it was called now. Was it called Black something, whatever? He does look very much the Bond stroke Superman stroke look now. So he might be quite good if he bulks up. You never know.
Matai says Elliot Page.
Yeah,
Should we do Super Girl as well, or woman?
You see, you're gonna get cancelled because you called her a she.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's
That's
arrestable.
That's not a stream killer. That's a channel killer.
That's a freedom killer. They'll have
Sorry,
blue lights
guys.
turning up any moment.
Sorry, guys. I fucked it up. I spoilt the party for you guys. Sorry.
Why doesn't Henry
I mean,
want to do
fucked
it
it up.
then? Does anybody know? Henry?
Well, one, they've just treated him like shit.
Mm.
Two, he's probably playing hard to get.
Yeah.
And
probably.
three, he probably knows he's got them over a barrel. So four, he's going to take the piss to see how much he can get out of them. And fair
Yeah, it's
play to him.
probably advice from his agent, probably. Saying
Take
that, you
the
know.
piss.
Yeah, more or less. But you know, he's you know, he didn't. It's just like Peter Bacaldi. He didn't really get a chance to play a good Superman, and Peter didn't get a
Yeah.
chance to play a really good
He's not
Doctor. 'Cause the
blossomed,
scripts are
yeah.
terrible. So do you know what I mean? If he does play Superman, I just hope the scripts are worthy of him coming back. Basically, you know. So
Time Prophet. Hello, mate. Brandon Roth.
no, the guy's too. I'm sorry, the guy's
Too old now.
Too old now. Yeah, it's just.
I don't think
They're
it
not-
was bad in Singer's version. I just think the material let him down a bit.
No, I think he was bad in Singer's version.
Okay.
He didn't have any. Just like Henry. They look. It's all down to the director, right? Henry never got any direction, as far as I can tell, to how he can play Superman. Richard Donner and Chris Reeves meticulously spoke about how Clark Kent should be and how Superman should be, and the results are there to see on film. But I get the feeling that nobody spoke to Henry about how he should play Superman or how he should play Clark.
Yeah.
So
It's nice to think as well that some actors actually have a sense of self-respect and value the work they do and have a basic level of standards about what jobs they'll start taking on. Oscar Isaac had another Star Wars zinger today. Obviously, the last time he was asked whether he'd go back to Star Wars, he said, "If I need a new house." And today, I think,
Moon
or
Knight 2
yesterday,
potentially as well.
well, he was asked either today or yesterday, would you go back to Star Wars again? And he said, I might consider it if there were a great story and a great director, which is sort of throwing shade at, I think, anyway. It sounds at least as though he's throwing shade at the people who did it before.
But they interviewed him. Sorry, mate. They interviewed them, didn't they? And remember that presenter said, what is it? Make a face on what do you think of...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you could tell Isaac and who's the black guy? I can't remember his name.
John
again.
Boyega.
John Boyega. You can tell they are not happy with the film.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell those two are not happy with the film, and I don't blame them because the film was shit.
John wasn't happy with the Chinese version, though, was he?
John's character was supposed to blossom after Force Awakens, but he was robbed dry by KK, wasn't he? Yeah. Because it's more important that the women are in front rather than the men.
Force is female. Bishop Moore says John Hamm.
No,
a great choice back in the day, but not.
Yeah,
certainly not now.
Absolutely agree.
Time Prophet says Egerton looks like a chav. He does.
No, but have you seen him in that trailer though? He really does look. You know, he does. Even I would go as far as say he could play Bond the way he's looking now.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so if you've seen him in that trailer, because I didn't think it was him at first. I was like, "Whoa, who's this?"
Aidan says Jamie Dornan
of 50 Shades fame. I do.
Oh
believe.
right, okay, yeah.
Apparently,
that's a good call.
You know, not that I've watched them all.
I just think
times.
They should just get an unknown like they did with Chris Reeves. That's what I think.
Here we go, folks. Matt Isaac, Matt 1. On a serious note, I think that David Corenswet looks like he could be a good Superman.
I've never
don't know who he is.
I'm not going to look him up.
Are you?
David Corenswet.
Bishop Moore, Chris Pratt. Yeah, he'd upset everybody. That'd be good. Just upset everybody. Yeah, that'd be great.
Chris Pratt would have made, you know, if they got their arse in gear, he would have made a good Indiana Jones. He's got the sense of humor and he's got the bulk, but you know, they missed the window there, I reckon.
Time says Brandon Roth was the closest to Christopher Reeve.
I don't know.
I can't believe
his performance was essentially just an impression of Christopher Reeve's Superman rather than it being his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Ruin.
No, it's just thing. I can't believe no one's mentioned the star of one of my movies, barrel-chested, dark hair. You know, he's got the he's got the moody look. Adam Driver. What do we think?
Oh God, no! God, no! Adam Driver. And look, Han Solo's good looking, Princess Leia's beautiful, and they produced Adam Driver. Come on, that makes no sense whatsoever.
We know somebody who looks like Adam Driver, but is slightly better looking. Don't we, Brian?
It's impossible.
Yes.
Yeah,
To
it
me-
could be his breakout role. Yes. Grim. Anthony
that'd be
Starr.
brilliant.
Maybe 10 years ago, but he's fantastic in The Boys.
I don't think it would work though, because he's in The Boys. It's like watching Peter Capaldi. Once you've seen
10
the
years
thick
ago.
of it,
10 years ago.
you see the thick of it, and you see Peter Capaldi, and then you watch him as the Doctor, and you just want him to swear like he was Malcolm Turnbull, and you can't unsee it. I would want Anthony Starr to play Homelander.
If I may, I would just say to everybody in the chat, Anthony Starr in Banshee, fantastic. Moving on.
Oh, it's a shame, really, that they he's turned it down. But I got a feeling he will end up playing Superman. But the thing is, though, what is the plan? Is the plan to reboot, or is the plan to carry on with, with what they've got? I would say just start again, but don't have his origin, because we all know his origin. Just like what they did with Batman, I guess.
This
in the world.
Good comment from Aidan. Who is the next Bond? Maybe he is the next Bond, and
You can't say.
Yeah, he might be. That's probably one of the reasons why he could have turned it down. He could be the next Bond. You never know. I'd love him to be the next Bond.
That's a good shout, Aidan.
I like him, but there's not that charisma that someone like Roger Moore has. I do like him a lot. I think he sounds great as Superman. He looks great as Superman, but there's something missing.
Well, what they should do is they should bring back Martin Campbell to direct Bond, and if Henry is James Bond, I'm pretty sure that Martin Campbell can point him in the right direction when it comes to humor and everything else. Because remember, he was responsible for bringing Daniel Craig and Pierce Brosnan to the screen on their first outings, and he did a great job on both. So, yeah, I'd get Martin Campbell back.
Rich says he'd be down for Idris Elba as Bond.
Nah, I don't believe in race swapping at all.
Yeah,
so.
I'd be down for Idris Elba to play something, but not Bond. A new character. Maybe he could be the baddie.
Well, he might be a good Felix Leitner. I mean, we've already had what's his name? I can't remember his name, but he's a good actor. He played Felix in the last one.
He'd be good. He'd make a good Blade. Idris would make a good Blade.
Yeah. Gritty, he's got the presence.
Yeah.
I like
but
the
they're
idea of
doing Blade, aren't they?
I like the idea of Alan Ritchson from Jack Reacher playing Superman. The only trouble is I think he's already played Hawk.
Yes.
And I think he would make trouble playing the same as Cavill. Can't really play Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Do Alpha.
Yes, you're right.
Next Bond, Ezra Miller.
That would be a nightmare.
Charlie seems to be able to get himself out of sticky situations with alarming regularity.
Ruin, you know plenty of Hollywood types. Any recommendations for Superman?
Well, I was going through my goddamn list, Brownie. I've still got a few more, so let me just roll through the last few. And they are. I'm not dicking about now. Some of these are serious suggestions. Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, he doesn't have the look.
Okay, all right. I'm going left field with this one. Nikolai Coster-Waldau.
Do you know that's alarming? I just thought about that before you said, but he's far too old. I think he's great, but he's too old. Jamie Lannister.
Okay.
Certainly got the jawline for it, that's for sure.
Controversial here, but if Star Wars not going to do anything with him, Sebastian Stan.
No. He's basically. Oh no, I can't see him as he's been spoilt. Put it that way. Yeah,
he's been ruined.
Yes,
okay, bit of an obvious one maybe. Michael Fassbender.
No, he's too old.
Too old.
I tell you who might make a really good Superman if he dyes his hair is Chris Evans.
What, the Virgin Radio
America.
DJ?
Captain America. He'd make a really good Superman, wouldn't he? Because he has got the bulk and everything. He's
Yeah,
got the
probably would.
looks. Yeah.
So he was in Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
As who was he?
Human Torch. Human
Torch.
Scott
That'd be
Pilgrim
quite a
as well.
trilogy.
Yeah. So he would play 3 heroes if he accepts the role. That'd be quite cool. Because like Superman is, the all-American hero, and Captain America was, and he did that really well as Captain America. So I can see him playing Superman, but he probably wouldn't accept the role, would he?
Played both parts pretty well, didn't he? He was able to
did.
flick between the two and still core of the character.
Rich in the chat. Let's start again. 007 is just a number, though. That's the way I was looking at it.
No.
Nope.
Don't get brownie started.
Massive debate about that, wasn't there, with the last dumpster fire of a film?
Yep. James Bond is James Bond. That's it. End of story.
Romeo says, was thinking that Chris Evans would be a good Superman.
He wouldn't do it though, because I'm pretty sure he's superheroed out.
He is, yeah. Especially after being with Lightyear Lost Money.
Just a quick one on James Bond. Just check the old odds online.
Okay.
Henry Cavill is the favourite at 4-1.
Yeah, but they won't do
still
it, will
money.
they? Because that's what you should do. But they won't do it. Just like they should have cast.
Yeah, but it's Slasloff, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but just like they should have cast Tom Ellis as the next Doctor. That's what you should do, but they didn't. And it's the same thing in this world. Everybody knows Henry Cavill should be the next Bond, but they won't do it. They won't do it. I don't know why, but they won't.
Because you wish it. Isaac Long Blackcock. I love a good mastication session. Evening all. Yeah. Okay, so
Please, Henry, come back.
Yeah, Henry. Listen, Henry knows. He's not stupid. He knows he's the fan favourite. I think he's just going to take the piss and take them for everything he can. And fair play to him. I don't think nobody will begrudge him it. As long as it's a good Superman film. And JJ's not about.
We will see.
Okay, so let's move on and see what we've got next. Speaking of Top Gun, did anybody see this? Lewis Hamilton, Formula One, British, eco-warrior, vegan, turned down a role for Top Gun as one of the pilots. He couldn't do it because of he was driving cars for a living.
And Tom Cruise was upset?
Yes.
Dear.
And Lewis Hamilton was upset as well.
Oh.
That's kind of Tom Cruise doing it. Will you be my friend? To Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, because he's big into his
Heights
cars,
grip,
isn't he?
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, he is indeed. I don't. Lewis Hamilton's got no fucking discernible personality. I mean, he makes Henry Cavill look positively effervescent by comparison.
Lewis Hamilton comes across like a bad actor in his day job, like when he's a normal human being.
He can't even pull off being Lewis Hamilton, for God's sake. What other roles are you going to play?
Oh dear.
I don't think it'd have gone down well, would it? The film.
But the question is, who is he going to play in Top Gun? That was the thing. What character? Was he
The love interest, probably.
I was going to say.
It reminds me of did anyone
Jennifer
remember in Game of Thrones where we had that random episode where fucking Ed Sheeran was sat there playing acoustic guitar on one episode, and it just completely took you out of the whole thing. I just feel as though it'd be the same. We'd just be enjoying the movie, and then all of a sudden there's Lewis fucking Hamilton in a helmet.
I watched that episode not being familiar with the appearance of Ed Sheeran, and I'm sitting there thinking, that guy thinks he can sing, but he's shite. He fancies himself as a singer, and I found out it was Ed Sheeran.
Oh, God.
Melvin Deeply, yeah. Eco warrior with his own private jets. Basically a twat with some money. Anyone? Yeah, I'm totally with you on that, mate.
Yeah, he's got the carbon footprints of a small country, Lewis Hamilton, the patronising prick.
Time Prophet with the tested material. Hamilton is also short, like Cruise.
Maybe that's why he wanted him. Let's face it.
I would have taken you right out of the film, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah.
I always thought Tom Cruise would make a really good Captain Scarlet because he kind of looks like him. Sorry, I've just gone off book.
He's got the movements as well.
Yeah, yeah. The acting ability.
Tom Cruise, the next James Bond.
Oh no! Oh no!
Time to retire.
Cruise has got has he got 3 projects on the go with Christopher McQuarrie? Did you see that?
He loves Christopher McQuarrie. He loves him.
It's the dream team, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but Christopher McQuarrie just basically does exactly what he says. I don't think he has a say in anything, really. Let's face it.
Did anybody see the article?
What?
Is it not on the slides?
No, I was saving that for Sunday.
Okay.
But shall we talk about it?
About what?
He's got 3 projects on the go with, as I said, Christopher McQuarrie. One of them is the guy from Tropic Thunder. What's his name?
Les. What's his face? Yeah.
Anybody?
Why bring that back though?
Because he probably liked playing him.
Oh, well, it's up to him, really.
Les Grossman, is that it?
Yes,
Well done.
Les Grossman. I don't know. Anyway, Tom Cruise, he's making his money. He doesn't care. His film made $1 billion.
Well, it wouldn't have made $1 billion with him in it.
Well, you never know.
We should chat the Lloyd Grossman.
Time Prophet, Tropic Thunder, Masterpiece, Bishop Lloyd Grossman.
Lloyd Grossman.
Much concern in the chat for you, Lord.
Why? What's wrong with him?
Nearly is the answer. I am flagging. I am going to have to drop off soon because I'm dying and I have stuff to do.
We're nearly at the end anyway, mate. Okay, so we'll move on from Cruise and Hamilton. Muster up all your power for this, Lord.
Save America?
Yes. Trump's house in Florida, wherever it was raided by the FBI. This is serious shit.
Oh, sorry.
Lord George hit the deck.
Even this can't make them. Right. Oh God, where do you even start? So, no one knows exactly why this has happened yet. It is potentially serious, but we won't know how serious it is until the FBI releases the charge sheet and the warrant, which they are, I think, obliged to do at some point. They've left it with Trump, who could have released it of his own accord. It's within his power to do so, and he chose not to. So, it doesn't necessarily speak well of what he thinks was the reason behind the raid. It's just kind of irritating in the way that all modern American politics is, because the Trump lot have spent years chanting, lock her up, and now it's an intolerable interference in American democracy for the FBI to potentially go around locking up a former politician. So they're not in a place to crow. But the same people who turned around against lock her up and said that's an intolerable threat to democracy, in other words, the pro-Hillary Clinton lot, are neither in a position to crow, given that they have previously said it is an intolerable imposition on democracy to do this. The sensible thing to do would just be to stop talking and to wait to see what the actual charge is, and then to make your judgment about how serious it is or isn't, and then whether it's politically motivated by the FBI or not. But that would be the sensible thing to do, which more or less guarantees that it is not the thing that will happen. So watch the space, I think, is really the only good thing to do here.
Some of the big news channels are saying that it's the it's the Democrats in the States, isn't it, playing very, very bad games with Trump.
Yes, except that the head of the FBI is a Trump appointee. So this is the other weird and irritating thing with the Trump lot. I mean, I happily shit on both of these sides because the Clinton lot's bad as well. But the Trump, I mean, so Trump has now gone on a fundraising campaign on the back of this. Apparently, he's done very well. Or the quote was, he's broken all-time records for the recent past, whatever the fuck that means. But his whole sales pitch is they're using the deep state against me, so you need to elect me to go drain the swamp. To which the obvious retort is, you've spent 4 years there. You said you would do it years ago. You had the House and you had the Senate. You can't now turn around and say it's time to start the work you should have done when you were actually in office. That's just not a thing. It's very irritating that he does this and that people sort of lap it up. But again, this is sort of, he's now pleading the fifth in a separate law case in New York, which a lot of lawyers who should know better have gone on Twitter and said this proves he's guilty. It doesn't. That's not the point of the Fifth Amendment. Except, of course, inevitably, Trump puts his own foot in his mouth because you can find footage of him in speeches less than 2 years ago going out in speeches and saying, if you plead the fifth, that means you're basically guilty. So, everyone is mad. This is not, but this is a potentially very bad thing. Presidents, however, are not monarchs. They are not owed any special allegiance. They are not above the law. If a law has been broken, Trump should be held to account for that. If the FBI has sufficient grounds to go in, they have to present that case to a federal judge. They have to get that signed off. So there must be probable cause to go in the first place. But again, we have to wait to see the reasons they gave before we can actually make a determination. If it turns out they didn't have probable cause, then yes, Trump is right. It's a very dangerous thing because it says that the FBI has been politicized. But if there is probable cause, it's also a very dangerous thing because it means your former president is now trying to whip up a mob to hide the fact that he broke the law.
Rich in the chat, I couldn't care less about American politics if I tried. America is a caricature of the West. It is at the moment, mate. Okay, this is going to be interesting. This is going to run and run, I think. So,
what movie is this, Brown? Because it sounds bloody awful.
I was going to say not on this channel today. So
it's the sequel to the Manchurian Candidate that nobody wanted to watch.
The only person that could answer that was the Lord. Seriously, we just left you to it, mate. Nobody could answer that. It's ridiculous.
You could hear the sound of reversing vehicles. Beep, beep, beep. No one was touching that with a goddamn barge pole.
Before we move on from that, Bijot says nobody is above the law. Knight Rider said so.
Yes,
Knight Rider was above the law, though, wasn't it?
Here we go. We'll finish with this. If Hillary Clinton is a lizard person, then she should be hung out to dry. Wait, lizards like that. So, let's get rid of that. Bear with me. Okay, who saw this? This is the BBC has appointed a correspondent with your license money if you actually pay it. The first disinformation and social media correspondent. When I saw this, I just chuckled.
What does that mean?
It means she will investigate all these non-truths or, effectively lies that people put out.
Or at least what the mainstream narrative tells you is a lie, but you sort of have to remember that the term disinformation has been used against any politician that the BBC doesn't like, or indeed any politician that the Democrats in the United States don't like. It's an incredibly malleable term. The BBC, I mean, if the BBC is really interested in investigating disinformation, it could begin with itself. That would be a logical place to start.
That's the delicious irony about it all, isn't it? It's the chicken and egg scenario.
Yeah, I mean, this is an organization. When the Euro was launched, for example, you know how passionately pro-European Union the BBC is. When the Euro was launched back in 2000, they wanted, and Blair was trying to get us into it, and the BBC was very keen, along with Tony Blair, that we get into the Euro. It was so keen to find people celebrating this landmark achievement of European civilization, but it couldn't find anyone in Europe actually celebrating it, that it used footage from New Year's Eve, fireworks and celebrations and crowds, and just pasted that over the story that the Euro had been launched and said that people were celebrating it when they weren't. The BBC, that's just like one relatively old example. The BBC does this all the time. the late night news on the other day for the first time in a long time while I was doing this fucking Prey review. And just the amount of nonsense, it's just this story after story after story, which is just, anyone could claim that this is disinformation. It's not categorically speaking non-factual in a large part of the case, but it's a specific interpretation of fact, and disinformation is different from misinformation. Misinformation is simply unfactual information. Disinformation is wrong interpretation of fact. But the BBC then is opening itself to criticism because all fact is ultimately interpreted by news anchors at the BBC. So when the BBC tells you something is disinformation, it's not saying there's no fact behind it. It's just saying that the people interpreting the facts in that way are committing disinformation. It's just no media company should have a disinformation czar. Disinformation is such an overused term. It's like post-truth or alternative facts when Kellyanne Conway did that for Trump. We didn't like it when Trump did it. We shouldn't like it when the BBC does either.
Yeah, see, nobody would touch that either. From the Lord.
Well, my only contribution is to point out that I'm slightly concerned she lists trolling as one of her roles. I'm not sure if that's a good fit.
Ruin was The Last Jedi disinformation.
Only all the criticism of The Last Jedi was disinformation. In fact, I wish we had Mariana Spring around to employ as the Disney disinformation and social media correspondent. She could have kicked arse and got all those man babies off the internet. But
shall we leave the last comment to Grim?
Well, just quick, I mean, another thing to sort of bear in mind, you know, there is this plethora of fact-checking organizations. Now, whenever people, particularly on the right, make a claim, there will be fact-checkers over it immediately. As soon as Joe Biden makes a claim, there's no fact-checking information at all. But when anyone on the right makes a claim, fact-checkers are immediately on board. And to see how disinformation actually operates, you just have to look at, say, PolitiFact, or I think the Washington Post does its Pinocchio scheme. And the way in which they justify claiming things are disinformation. So I don't remember the specific example. There was one quite recently where Biden had said something, and people on the right had said, look, Joe Biden said this thing. And PolitiFact looked at that and they said, well, yes, he did say that thing, but because you didn't include the thing he said in a speech a week earlier, you're denying context and therefore disinformation. So though it's factually true that he said the thing they said he said, we are going to rate it as 1 star on truthiness and call it disinformation because it didn't contain the thing that we wish it had said that it had said before. It's just so ripe for abuse, and you just know what will happen. She will just be spending all her time saying social media has seen a 50% uptick in hate crimes this week. Okay, how are you judging that? We're not going to tell you. And then this will just be used to push more campaigns from the BBC, and then it'll be more crackdowns on free speech, and she'll just be on Twitter, and every time you tell her she's wrong, she will say that you're harassing her. It's just the same type of BBC journo mold. It's I cancel my license fee.
I looked at the thread that was on, and it was all her blue tick mark chummies congratulating each other over it.
Yeah. Well, the Biden administration tried it with its own disinformation czar, that woman who was actually just a musical theater performer and who had worked as a Democrat her entire life and had actually been incredibly politically partisan and had posted actual disinformation 2 weeks prior to her appointment. And they were forced to get rid of it because it was just so obviously absurd. But that's at least they're open to politics. The BBC, there's not really anything you can do. They're license fee funded. You can't pressure them. You can't really complain about them. There's no way that they'll cancel.
Don't pay your license, folks. Just cancel it.
Cancel it. I mean, when was the last time anybody actually watched anything on the BBC anyway?
Me watching the football.
With the exception of Match of the Day.
I'm literally trying not to say a word about this because this mob has just had to apologise to a certain Scottish Presbyterian football club for their disinfo over the last 10 years. So if I start talking about this, chances are the stream is going to be killed and the air will be turned a very Protestant shade of blue.
Thing is, though, if she's in charge of this stuff, her bias, because she's human as well, will come into it, and BBC's agenda will come into it as well. So how is this going to work? It can't work, can it? So what's the point? Why did they even hire her? Because she's a woman? Is that it?
It's got a kind of manufacturing consent feel about it, the whole thing.
BBC used to be genuinely good.
No, it never was good.
No,
BBC was never good. The shows, some of their shows were really good, but the
the shows. Okay.
Yeah, people behind it were never good. Never.
Genuinely good. But back in the days when you had Jimmy Savile running riot.
That's what I'm saying. They were never good. They hid behind loads of stuff, didn't they?
I withdraw my last comment.
We can edit that part out, Brown.
For the good of the channel, if anything. So okay. Okay, we'll
Moving on.
And finally, just thought I'd throw this in. Olivia Newton Bomb, who died this week.
She's been battling that for a very long time.
Yeah.
It seemed there was one point where it seemed like she escaped it, and then it came back with a vengeance towards the end. So it's really sad, actually.
Like 1992 when she was first diagnosed, and then she had a second diagnosis in 2013, and then it came back, I think, 2017. So she's had one hell of a battle on her life.
Yeah, she lost some of her family to it as well, didn't she? I remember watching a documentary on her. So
it was breast cancer, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, she's old. She was older than me. She was born in 48.
Yeah, 73. Yep, that's it. It says it there. Actually, Rennie's probably the person we should have had on for this because I know she's a big fan.
Bridget, rest in peace, Sandy.
It's only fitting we all end with a song. So are we ready to regale everyone with the famous
Yeah, right.
I was going to say...
Yeah, go on. No, I was just saying that my dad, when I was growing up, my dad used to, before the internet, before TV started at 12, I don't know if you remember that, it was a very long time ago, my dad used to play vinyls on Sunday. We used to get quite excited as kids. And he always used to play Olivia Newton-John. You know, it's when she was just a country singer at the time. And that's how I got to know her. And then when she was in Greece, I was like, that's the same woman that sang those songs in this? Yeah, so, yeah.
I used to think her name was Olivia Newt. She was always pictured next to John Travolta. It was Olivia Newt and John. It was about 4 or something.
His name was John Travolta.
Grease was the first film I ever went to see at the cinema.
Oh, really?
So,
Wow.
so it has a special place for me.
I hated Grease.
I think the car. I think the car. Thank you. I think the car broke down on the way to the.
I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control. Oh, is my mic on? Sorry.
Oh dear.
Such a fitting tribute to a well-loved star.
Who remembers Xanadu?
Yeah, ELO, yeah, great song.
Yeah, no, well, the film Xanadu was terrible, but she looked fantastic in it, though. She really did. Incredibly beautiful woman. Let's face it. When
physical video was excellent.
Yeah, she was absolutely gorgeous.
Physical. Yeah.
Meatloaf was in that, was he not?
No, I don't think so.
Andy Mouse, she gave him the horn.
So I had the poster of her when she was in her white dress from Xanadu. She's like looking up into the sky, and I was thinking, "Whoa!"
There you go, Ruth. My ears.
Whoa!
You're welcome. You're man, baby. You can have that one for free.
Okay, so rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John. I know John Travolta was quite upset, wasn't he? So
good tribute he paid, though. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's it, folks. Short one tonight. Please consider donating to the channel. Links, description, all that. Please, if anything, if you're not subbed, press the button. We need to get to that 1,000. Please.
If you're one of the 60% who've not subbed, shame on you. Get your damn subscription in.
Yeah, this has been 20 months I've been doing this now. So,
how much are you up to now, then, Ian?
35.
3. I think we've got 485, 6, something like that.
That's not bad, considering.
Yeah, we need that. We need to push on though. We need to push on.
Some
It's very-
channels get blackballed, as they say. You know, because the things that you talk about, really, you know, they kind of stop your growth, basically.
There is that, but effectively, if you do a live stream where you're talking about the topic of the day, the algorithm picks up on that. So that's kind of just pandering to YouTube a bit, though. But is that the point? I don't know.
Don't know.
But anyway. Okay. I think that's it, folks. So chat, you're wonderful. As I said, just a short one, just see what's going on. We're going to be back Saturday. Going to do a film. Don't know what the film is yet. Sunday, definitely be doing more of this musings stuff. I kind of edited half the content just for this because we're going to be near 10 hours. But anyway, so chat, you're wonderful. Please, if I can get my words out, press the thumbs up, leave a comment. All that helps. So cheers, guys. I'll thank the guests in order of my screen. Ian, thank you.
Thank you. No worries. No worries.
Have you been shooting today, by the way?
No, not at all.
Right, okay. I will alter the positions of the... There we go. Lord, thank you, my friend.
Fucking relegated.
You've got Brian on top now.
Well, I was going to say you're welcome, but after that, no, sorry.
What a sandwich you're in there, Lost George. Nicky Geek and not Brian sandwich.
Cheers, Lord. I appreciate you coming on.
That's quite all right.
I think you needed a rest from the editing because your eyes have probably gone very, very widescreen.
What do you edit on anyway?
Is it
It's
software
wits.
or
Software.
Premiere Pro mostly?
Right.
And
Yeah.
live stuff is like Streamlabs, but yeah, it's all Premiere.
All right. Yeah.
Brian, thank you.
Cheers, Brun. Cheers to my fellow guests. To the chat, especially Cam, who has just turned up at the death there. And we haven't
Hello,
spoken to
Cam.
him for a while.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Ruin, thank you. Really great to have you on, mate.
Yes, I've missed you all. It's good to be back, and we're getting closer to Andor, man, baby.
Oh,
Strap yourselves
God.
in. We're going to tear the arse out of that one.
Are you? Would you do us the honour of presenting that?
Of course I would. I'm hoping we're going to
Oh,
do a
can't
little
wait.
Rogue One recap beforehand. Could we maybe line that one up?
I think Rogue One is happening soon. Is it not?
Excellent.
Brian.
We could line up for Saturday if you really want to do it quickly, or until closer to the release date.
It's the Ruin availability.
Well, let me check with Kathy. I mean, you know, she might have something planned, but yes, potentially, maybe Saturday Rogue One. Put it in your diaries, but put it in pencil,
Okay.
just in case.
And last but by no means least, Lord Cord. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Brown,
That's it,
if
boys.
you don't put me back to the top, I'm never coming back on ever.
Tell you what, hold on. There you go. And last but by no means least, he's presented the show. He's beautiful. We love him. It was his birthday the other day. Say happy birthday to him, folks. The mighty Trilogy King himself, Ruin the Man Baby. Cheers, my friend.
Thank you, Brownie. Thank you all. Have a good one. Keep cool, and we'll see you at the
Yeah.
weekend.
If you're in the UK, boys and girls, stay hydrated. A couple more days of heat. So take care, everybody. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.